Hey there, aspiring guitarist. Going to do a little guitar talk edition. Just so you know, we do have a Get Your Pinky in the Game guitar tip of the week coming, but I want to talk about a tiny bit of guitar etiquette that's starting to bother me a little bit. I spend a lot of time trying to encourage fellow guitarists to visit mom and pops, retail stores that, we don't want to lose the ability to put our hands on a guitar. I've said many times that I realize that, the guitar buying is changing. I'm a big advocate of the way Sweetwater handles things. I try to spread the love around. I've talked about, many things as far as supporting local guitar shops, even box stores. But I'm going to tell you something about when you go inside a mom and pop, and I find this it's a little bit troubling to me, and there's probably not a thing in the world I can do about it, but I would like to plant it in somebody's brain who's willing to listen, and that is being rude to other guitarists in the store. I went into a local shop just the other day. I specifically was looking at a Rickenbacker that I wanted to play. Now, when I go to play an electric guitar, y'all know I'm mostly an acoustic guy, but when I go to play an electric guitar, I'm not going to let a guitar salesman plug it into a $2,000 amp. I'm just not. If you want to, if you need to test it out with that amp, that's fine. I want to test the guitar. In fact, I'm going to play the guitar first without it ever being plugged in to an amp because I want to know that it's playable. That's my first thing. Then I want a really dirt cheap amp. And I want to go through, I want to test any coil splitting. I want to test the switches. I want to see that, depending on the pickup configuration, that, and tones, that I can get different tones, how they react, things of that nature. And I usually play the exact same chord progressions, and they're very hard chord progressions. I don't go in there trying to woo somebody and play the same things everybody plays. I have some specific chord progressions, a couple of lead riff runs that I play, and I play the amp down very low. Now, if your specific reason for being in a store is to buy an amp, most of us that have been around this a while, we realize you need to hear it cranked up. But you don't need to hear it cranked up for 30 minutes where no one else in the store can hear anything. I couldn't even test the Rickenbacker. I kept waiting on the guy to finish. And I'm going to be a little mean here. I really don't care, how good you are when you play a guitar, but he pretty much sucked. No, he sucked. And this went on and on and on and on. And I got up, walked over to the acoustics. Now, as I get older, I 5 years ago, I'd have been, hey, dude, could you, hadn't said nothing for 5 minutes, man, but I really would like to have an opportunity to hear this amp. Could you turn it down just a little? I mean, I would have tried that approach. I read people pretty well. That would have created a fight with this guy. So part of this, to me, is on the mom and pop. Part of it. They could have very kindly said, well, there's other people in the shop now. Could you turn it down a little bit? Now, when you're in a big box store, there's more places to run, hide, get away from. You can go to the other end of the store and play. It's not as big a deal. Now the other flip side, the way to look is, look, man, you're just gonna have to put up with that. That's just the way it is. They got just as much right to play as you do. Okay, whatever. If that just ticked you off and you need to hit the comments and tell me what an old fart curmudgeon I am, well, go ahead. I just miss the basic respect of guitarists. And I know it does still exist. I'm not blaming this on youth. Not at all. But to those of you who go in and you're serious about testing a guitar out and you need to turn it up, I would just ask that you consider other people. To make matters worse, then of course he got up after 30 minutes, didn't buy a darn thing. That doesn't even matter. That's part of the guitar experience is, sometimes we don't buy something. You don't have to go into a guitar shop and buy something. I've done videos about, I'm not real crazy about people that, always buy from an online dealer, but always go try them out at local shops and never give them any love. But regardless of that, you may have reasons you're doing that. Maybe you're passing the love around, whatever, but to anybody that would listen, just, be a little respectful. I tried every way in the world. And I know you could turn around and say, well, you should have said something to him. He did other things that I'm not going to go into, and made statements to his girlfriend with the dog and things like that, like I said, I'm, physically, I don't care. I mean, if he'd have threatened me, we'd have went down another alley. That wasn't the case. It was just that arrogant, I know everything, it's all about me attitude, and I'm not going to die on that hill. Even if I'd have had to walk out of the shop after 30 minutes, whatever, I didn't go in there in a hurry, and I tried to be very patient. So that's all. I'm just trying to plant a seed. There's different ways to handle that. If you've encountered that, by all means, put it in the comments. Let somebody know how you handled that. Let somebody, I realize this could actually encourage a fight amongst friends, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying that, they're one of the things I've spent a lot of time on this channel trying to tell beginner guitarists and some of us older guitarists that are getting back in it to not let somebody ruin your guitar journey. Don't let jerks ruin your guitar journey. Don't listen to someone telling you that that's not the way you play that and you can't. They're just jerks. You're going to get jerks in life. This is your guitar journey. And if you feel blessed by having a guitar journey and you're carrying that out to the experience of going to a guitar shop to, maybe to talk guitar or to mingle or to try out a new guitar, or to buy a guitar, or to just be in phase one of maybe getting that guitar later. I need to try it out. I've made a commitment to myself that I will not buy a guitar on site without going home and sleeping of it. Whatever. But I would encourage you to be kind to other guitarists. So that's my guitar talk for this week. We do have a video coming up about using the pinky, and I think you're going to find with open chords and how that will help you in so many other things. So hey, I hope your guitar journey is blessed, and like I always say, and I do mean it, happy picking.